Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good morning and welcome back to Fishin. So we're getting into mid-August right now. This summer is flying by. And yeah, we're driving from New York City area out to Long Island right now. And I say area because I actually just moved. It's been one heck of a week. Fear not, I'll still be fishing around, you know, the New York City metro area and all that other stuff, but I'll be leaving from different area. But it's still summer, so I'm doing a lot of back and forth between Long Island for my side hustle. I do have to do a little work today, but I'm hoping to get some fishing in. So I might have the opportunity to take a few casts before work. And then after I do my few jobs that I have, I might look to launch the kayak. You might find that my videos might be slowing down in terms of how fast I'm releasing them, just because I got a lot of stuff going on. I got to finish this move, and I'm actually going on a trip next week, which I'm not going to say a lot about, but it's our belated honeymoon, and I'm hoping to get some fishing in that, so you'll hopefully see that in the channel soon too. But yeah, I just want to thank all of you that have been watching and subscribing to the channel. I couldn't do this without you in terms of growing the channel like I have been. And if you haven't done so already, please think about hitting that subscribe button and definitely like this video. Every little bit helps, and I thank each and every one of you for it again. I couldn't thank you enough, but I'm hoping I'm going to do you proud today and get some good action on footage. So do stay tuned, because as always, the goal is to get some fishing accomplished. All right, we got a tiny opening to do a few casts right now. Kill some time, so we're gonna try this 1 ounce bucktail, 5-inch jerk shad. See what we can pick up right here, just from shore. Not really moving here, so we're going to downsize to a 1/4 ounce thereabouts. Same jerk shad though. I want to try and make this thing work. It did very well for me once when I came here last year. Let's see if we can do it again. See how many fish we can catch in 10 minutes. So that's about all we got. Minutes to make it happen. Oh, there's a bite. Come on. That's no good. Try that again. That fish is still there. There he is. Come on. One more cast. All right, if it's not obviously clear, it is a weekend day right now. And usually I avoid taking the kayak on the weekend, but it's just been tough getting out in the water lately between wind and work and just other things. So we're going to navigate the gauntlet right now and hopefully not get run over. We tried on shore for a little bit, but I didn't have a lot of time. Maybe I'm showing you some of the footage or not, I don't know. But hopefully this death-defying trek is worth it. So
we'll get you back on when we get to the spot, or one of many spots hopefully, and pull up some nice fish. All right, folks, here goes. Perilous getting out here, but we're here, keeping a super close eye out as there's a ton of boat traffic. But anyways, we're fishing the 1 ounce Spro bucktail. I think we have about an hour left of incoming tide thereabouts, and then it's going to switch to outgoing. Tide is peaked just about, so yeah, that should be good. These are good conditions, so hopefully the fish got the memo and we'll be on some action in no time. Yeah, we're like barely moving right now. I think the tide must just be about to peak, and it should be going out pretty soon. Still having issues with my sonar, but again, the GPS is working, knock on wood, so if we got that, we should be pretty much fine. Not ideal, but we'll make do. All right, it's time for everyone's favorite segment. What kind of seltzer is Dan drinking today? Bubbly Bounce caffeinated sparkling water, mango passion fruit. Oh, that's not bad. Not my favorite, but it is caffeinated, so not trying to drink coffee at this hour. A little pep in your step. I'd recommend it if you're looking for some new seltzer. And I'll recommend anything right now because bite is not happening. Tide is slack, so I'm really hoping this tide starts moving any minute now, because I don't think we're going to get much action until it does. It should be moving soon. I mean, it's been dead standstill as long as I've been out here, but once it does start moving, it might make all the difference in the world. But we'll just keep grinding until that happens, so stay tuned for that. All right, something's up with my sonar. Like, I'm pretty sure it might be the transducer. It might be slightly off axis. I'm getting a very weak signal to the bottom, but it's really not bouncing back unless I'm in no shallower than 20 feet of water. As soon as we go over like 30 or 40, we just completely lose a good depth reading. When we're done with this trip, I'm gonna go into the transducer and see if I can adjust it, but we'll make do with what we have for this. I'm not gonna go back inshore and waste all that time. I know where I'm going and got good maps that give me an idea of the spots I want to fish. As we learned a couple weeks ago, we don't necessarily need to know what's exactly under the bottom to get on some good fish. We just have to have a rough estimate of knowing what's happening. So I think once we get the tide moving, we'll have a much better shot of getting on some fish. But until then, it's just going to be a grind. All right, we're starting to get a little bit of a drift now, so that's good. Better late than never. Yeah, we're moving. We're about getting a knot now, so we might actually be able to get in some fish. Finally. Nothing good, but it's a fish. Little flatty. God, where have you fish been? Okay, we finally got the skunk out of the boat. Took a long time, but we do have a good, fairly decent tide at this point, so hopefully this is a turning of a corner for today's session, because it has been a grind. Yeah, we're really just looking for wherever the fish are. We're just drifting around, but no real pattern. No real pattern, obviously, so far, but we're in fairly deep water right now, like I'm guessing somewhere around 70 feet, thereabouts. Hopefully there's more fish and bigger fish where that one was. All right, after getting that fluke, we continued that drift and got a few little hits. One of them actually felt decent, but considering how slow it's been so far, that definitely warrants another go over this area. Let's see if we can pick up another fish. And if we do get another hit or another fish, we'll definitely put a waypoint for this spot as a potential future area to find fish. There's a fish. It's on there still. Probably a sea robin. Oh, that's a fluke. That's a fluke. Not a good fluke, but it's a fluke. Unless it's a foul hook sea robin. Which it very well could be, because that happens a lot with these little ones. No, porgy. Surprise, surprise. Foul hooked though. Alright, porgy in the boat. That means one fluke and one porgy. Nothing too grand so far, but we still got time. Turn this around. Come on. Fish are just not having it today. There we go. Oh my God, Dan, come on. Oh, that felt like a decent fluke. All right, we definitely had a few hits in that last drift, and we hooked what felt like a decent fluke for a second, but it got off. So we're gonna go over that again and see if we can pick up something, salvage this overall lackluster outing so far. Still can turn this thing around now. A lot can happen in an hour and a half, which is about as much time as we have. Maybe longer if something compels us to stay. All right. What do we have here? Small fluke, probably? Feels like a fluke. Maybe not, I don't know. Who knows? It's a fish. Not that small. Not a keeper? Maybe. I don't know. It's been a while. I don't think he's a keeper. I just threw up a whole squid. No, you're not a keeper. Maybe a Jersey keeper, but not a New York keeper. That's a good sign. Just so we know we don't do something stupid. He's not 19. Get out of here. All right, finally got another fish, and it was a fluke. Not a huge one. Probably like 17, 18 inches tops. But if he's down there, there's definitely more. And we've had a few hits in the last couple drifts, so let's hammer this area a bit. We know they're here. Just got to get in front of the right fish at the right time. There's something, and he's off. Didn't feel that big, so it's all right. Probably a small, weak fish. That's kind of what it felt like. Hit on the drop. I just felt all the weight of the lure just completely disappear. Oh, that felt like maybe a good fish. I don't know. Might have been bottom. Oh, he's on there. That's definitely not a fluke. Unless it's a really, really small one. It's starting to feel like a really, really small fluke. Guys, it's a fluke. Nothing to write home about, though. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Little guy. Let's try that again. There's fish around. There's shorty on that drift. Really small fluke, but missed a couple other fish. One might have been like a really nice fish, but it got off. It could have just as easily been bottom or something foul hook too, so who knows. I'm not gonna get too fraught up about it, but it's at least given us reason to do that drift again. So that's exactly what we're going to do, because this is the best action we've had all afternoon. All right, we just got snagged in the bottom, and miraculously our sonar started working again. I have no idea why. Well, I have an idea why, but I won't get into it. We did not get the bucktail back or the leader, so we had to retie all that. And I decided to put a 1.5 ounce bucktail on because we are moving pretty quick right now. So we'll hold bottom a bit better. And we're also doing the munch to gulp combo. Like, I feel like there's got to be a nice fish down there, and this will hopefully appeal to some of those larger fish and less so to the smaller ones. Figured go big or go home. I got an hour, and I'll probably call it, give or take. beautiful out here, so let's make the most of it and let's really see if we can end this trip right. Just reeling it up and this fish just smashed it. It's got to be a nice sea bass. What'd I tell you? Should keep you. Make some nice fillets off him. It's been a while since we got a nice sea bass. Why the heck not? You know what? I'm not gonna get much off him. Next time. All right, we let that sea bass go. It wasn't huge, probably like a 16-incher, thereabouts. I might regret it if I start getting into them thick, but unless they're like over 16, as I like to say, you're not gonna get much meat off them unless you cook them whole. And even like a 17-incher is really not much. So much of them is just fins and head and spines. But if we got a fluke, we'd reconsider. Keeper fluke, obviously. These are like the most picture-perfect conditions you could ask for. No wind, good tide, and I don't have to be anywhere. What is that? Oh, I think this is a weak fish. Little weak fish, or sea bass. Sea bass, all right. Nothing wrong with that. Outgoing tide, these guys show up apparently. If you weren't here before, that's for sure. Another little sea bass. I'm okay with that, but I either want a jumbo sea bass or really just a keeper fluke. Get a keeper fluke, it'll make me rethink everything I'm catching right now. But I'm just happy to get on some action. Sea bass, now fluke, little fluke. It's actually not a bad fish at all. I'm shocked. I think it's a keeper. Come on. Oh my god. How is that a keeper? That's a keeper, man. Holy crap. Thought it was like a little guy. Heck yeah. He just spit it. That's definitely a keeper. See, I should have kept that effing sea bass. Let's get a measure just to prove it. It's definitely a keeper. It's like a 21 inch, probably like a 20-incher. That's a nice fish. Hell yeah, 21 and a half, almost 22. Thought it was like a baby. Hell yeah. Now we'll take those sea bass. Let's look at him. Get a nice look at that fish. Solid. I should not be holding him without a thing on him. All right, let's get him bled out and do that drift again. Lead out there, all you want. Yeah, that's the first keeper fluke we've gotten in a good like 2 weeks, maybe even more actually. It'd be great if we can get another one or another nice sea bass, but I'm sure now that we have fish in the boat, we will not get another keeper. But whatever. Let's not be negative. Just being realistic. Let's make that magic happen again. All right, we got that keeper on ice. Let's see if we can get him a buddy, a roommate, I should say, a cooler buddy. Okay, so that's gonna do it for today's session. All in all, not terrible. Definitely tough. That first 2 hours, we legitimately did not catch a fish and barely had any bites, but that's just what, you know, slack tide looks like, especially in the month of August. Inshore is tough in August sometimes, and this is definitely evidence of that. But once that tide switched to outgoing, it was a game changer, and that was not a surprise. So I'm happy I stuck it out. And just know, if you don't do this kind of fishing a lot, or if you're looking to get into it, it may look great and it may just be awful for a little while, but once you get that moving tide, it can be the difference between getting skunked and taking home a limit of fish. So take from that what you will. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I'm really enjoying making these videos, and I hope you all enjoy them as well. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already, or at least consider it. And if you have can't even talk today. If you have subscribed, thank you so much as always. Greatly appreciated. And thank you so much for those of you giving the generally positive feedback, for pretty much all the positive feedback. I'm happy that some of you are enjoying these videos. And if you're not, well, I'm sorry. It is what it is. I'll see y'all in the water soon. Hopefully we got some more stuff coming at you, and some of it's going to be very different if things go the way I intend, or maybe not. Maybe it'll just be more fluke fishing. We'll see. But as always, thank you so much. I'll catch you on the water next time, and goodbye from Fishin'.